100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a mother. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry.
Do the numbers just speak for themselves, or is there some kind of other motive for the filing at this time, Joey?
No correlation at all, Mike. You kidding? I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
Floyd writes on his Instagram, "Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country."
Floyd Mayweather, once bragging about making over $1 billion in his career, is now reportedly in serious financial trouble, according to shocking new reports from CNN. Despite showing off private jets, fancy mansions, and million-dollar watches, insiders say Mayweather's wild spending, failed businesses, and growing legal bills are catching up to him. Some sources claim he's quietly selling off his assets to cover debts, and others suggest he might even be close to filing for bankruptcy.
Everything ends up this way. Well, everything does end up this way because people are surrounded by other people who make 10%, 20%, 5% on what the other guy brings home. So people are incentivized to push people to keep scaling and keep going and all eat when you eat. But I think it's very important for people to stand up and say, you know what? I don't think this thing needs to be that big. I don't think the valuation needs to get here.
Mayweather was once on top of the sports world when it came to wealth, reportedly earning over $1 billion from fights, sponsorships, and public appearances. But just as fast as the money came in, it was spent. Instead of saving or investing smartly, Floyd lived like the cash would never run out. Gold-plated jets and entire fleets of supercars became his everyday norm. He was more focused on being the flashiest, richest guy in the room than on staying financially stable. The same habits that got him the nickname Money are now dragging him toward financial disaster.
He's up there, bro. He's probably got to be at least 400 million. I mean, some of the purses from his fights are like 100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry. Have you seen like videos of his jewelry?
Yeah, some crazy. Let me see. Let me see what his net worth is. Mayweather net worth.
Them Googles be lying though. Huh?
They be lying? You think?
I think so. It's probably not accurate. I mean,
let's see what they say. You are. I mean, exactly what you said. It says an estimated $450 million.
Yeah.
Richest boxer in the world. It's a lot of money.
Mayweather wasn't just known for winning fights, he was known for making insane amounts of money. His fight with Manny Pacquiao reportedly earned him over $150 million. And his exhibition with Conor McGregor brought in a similar amount. He was constantly ranked as one of the highest paid athletes in the world. But instead of using that income to build long-term wealth, he used it to fund an over-the-top lifestyle, huge parties, private jets for his friends, and million-dollar gambling. Nights became regular events in his life.
Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back streets.
Floyd's money problems aren't just about spending too much. He's also been tied up in a string of legal issues involving risky business deals. In 2022, he was involved in a class action lawsuit over a crypto scam that many called a pump and dump. Even though the case was dropped, it showed how easily Floyd jumps into hyped-up ventures without doing his homework. Things got worse in 2024 when he was sued for allegedly telling his bodyguard to attack someone. The man sued him for over $3 million. These legal troubles paint a clear picture of Floyd's risky and impulsive financial choices.
How do you explain all that? How did that happen in your life?
What things happened? I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. She was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown. out of, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, in my children's life.
Joe Rogan, never one to hold back, publicly slammed Floyd for ignoring tax responsibilities. Rogan warned that no matter how much money someone has, skipping taxes can land you in deep trouble with the IRS. And he's not wrong, plenty of rich people have gone broke for that exact reason. Rogan also said Floyd's flashy lifestyle could be hiding bigger financial problems beneath the surface. He said it's a story we've seen before.
I owe that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell though.
Mike Tyson is the perfect example. He made hundreds of millions in his prime, only to go bankrupt after blowing it all. Tyson bought tigers, mansions, and even a gold bathtub. Now, Floyd seems to be going down that same dangerous road, just like Tyson. Mayweather shows off his cars, jewelry, and houses, but behind the scenes, his money situation might be falling apart.
It's your main man, Made Man, back at it again, and y'all know how I get down over here. We talking boxing. Now, I am fresh off watching episode 1 of the All Access of the upcoming fight between Floyd Money Mayweather and Marcos Maidana. Now, a lot of people may have gotten a lot of things from watching that episode. It was real flamboyant. We seen Floyd Mayweather tossing his money around as always, talking about the Miss Jackson situation. We seen Marcos Maidana looking focused, more so focused on his baby and everything. So those are a lot of the minor takeaways. But my major takeaway from this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I was quickly hit with a emotion of nostalgia, you know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada, 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 it just kind of reminded me, there was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality. You know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. They start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. There's something special, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching this sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And I understand the argument for those who may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact...
It's almost ironic Floyd often talks about being smart with money. He's even mentioned things like buy low, sell high when it comes to real estate. But his actions tell a different story. No one doubts Floyd's brilliance in the boxing ring. His defense, timing, and strategy made him a legend. He retired undefeated, something very few athletes can say. But being great at boxing doesn't mean you're great with money. The discipline he had in the ring doesn't seem to carry over to how he handles his finances.
Hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example. I'm going to just take boxing, for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
yes,
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose.
Right.
That's it. Yes. He became the villain.
Even Floyd's own uncle, Jeff Mayweather, has spoken out. In a recent interview, he admitted he doesn't understand Floyd's choices anymore, especially the way he jumps into random business deals. Floyd seems to make big moves without a solid plan, often driven more by ego than smart thinking. His massive claims about real estate investments have raised red flags for experts who know just how risky that market can be.
I did. I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much, so we don't really get a chance to talk very much, and so I don't really know what's going on. I know he's doing things that, you know, to better his life, like, you know, buying homes and buying, you know, different things, and so I mean, I don't know exactly what he's doing. So I mean, I haven't seen him in quite some time, and I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know, but I haven't heard anything.
I know the KSI's team would be happy to make their fight with him.
Floyd's troubles with the IRS are a serious warning sign. In the past, federal agents reportedly told him to sell off his properties and pay what he owed in taxes. Ignoring advice like that is financial suicide. When the IRS starts taking your stuff, it means the situation is already out of control, and Floyd made it worse by not handling it early.
I'm at least at fact reporting. You guys all seen the headline saying Mayweather needs money, Mayweather has problems, Mayweather needs Conor McGregor. Well, the truth couldn't be further. Let me tell you, Floyd Mayweather just posted this on his Instagram, and I know it's true because anyone who was around Floyd Mayweather back after the Pacquiao fight in 2015 saw Mayweather with the $26 million paycheck for the IRS. And this is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country. While everyone is counting my money and assuming the worst, these are the facts. Uncle Sam received $26 million from me in 2015. What else could they possibly want? I'm sure I would have been notified much sooner if there were any real discrepancies, right? Bottom line, everybody just wants to be part of the Money May show, including the IRS. That's fine. You can crunch numbers all day, but in the end, my empire is rock solid and intact. Now calculate that. Hashtag TMT, hashtag Floyd Mayweather, hashtag TBE.
Eventually, Floyd addressed the tax rumors by revealing he had paid $26 million to the IRS. But instead of resolving doubts, the announcement raised more questions. Was that the full amount owed? Was it too late? The timing seemed less about transparency and more about damage control. Some critics argue that the payment was a public relations move aimed at silencing growing speculation.
To them by showing on Instagram $26 million, a payment he made to the IRS. By the way, nothing makes your tax payment look shadier than when you're just holding up cash.
Right.
That's not a good look for the IRS. But he showed his actual, $26 million.
They just pay him. Like, I don't know why, like, he's mad at the media. It's like, oh, you guys are making things up. No, it's leaked that you asked to pay after this fight. Like, you make all this money. If I was Mayweather, not only would I pay them on time, the IRS, I'd tip them. I'd be like, hey, here's what I owe you. Here's a little bit. Get your woman something nice, all right? How was Christmas for your kids? Oh, you're Jewish? Convert just for this Christmas.
Eventually, Floyd went public and said he paid the IRS $26 million. But instead of clearing things up, the announcement raised eyebrows. Was that the full amount he owed? Was it too late? The timing felt less like honesty and more like a last-minute PR move to quiet the rumors and save face.
Within $2 million, this substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm the transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion.
Even with all the lawsuits and money issues, Floyd recently claimed he spent $40 million on real estate buying 60 buildings in Manhattan. With his own money, he made it clear he had no partners. But critics aren't buying it. With all his other financial problems, the timing and scale of that investment seem way off.
Whether it's about to pay $2 billion to purchase a sports team, it may never have to pay taxes again. The tax code offers these super wealthy so many methods to erase their income through deductions, and none is better than purchasing a sports team. Buying a sports team is like buying a unicorn real estate property. The value is always going to go up, the owner is going to make money, but on their tax return, they're going to use a strategy to report that they're losing money. See, the owner is actually allowed to write off the entire cost of the sports team against future income. This will allow Floyd to pay less in taxes. It's called amortization, which is very similar to depreciation. But if Floyd ever decides to sell the team, then the taxes will be owed. Who cares then? Because the taxes he was supposed to pay during those years, he's going to take that money, reinvest it for personal profit. See you, Floyd. Hit your boy up if you need help with taxes. My name is Duke, and I make taxes very easy to understand. Give me a follow to stay educated.
Instead of making people feel confident, Floyd's announcement only raised more doubts. If it's true, it shows he might be spreading himself too thin. His love for flashy things could be his biggest downfall. Every supercar, designer watch, and gold chain just adds to a lifestyle he likely can't afford anymore. Insiders say he's spending more than he makes in fast.
Yeah, they got Floyd Mayweather, like...
Well, I didn't say kidnap, but you know, you got your passport taken. You can't come and leave when you want to go, but he ain't in jail, so
okay.
He's out in a 6-star hotel being Floyd, so I guess it ain't that bad, but we'll see. We're going to watch and see like everybody else.
That's crazy. I mean, when you think of Money Mayweather, you thinking like Floyd may have like $1 billion or something.
He did. He made $1 billion plus. Floyd made a lot of money. And I don't really know Floyd's business, so I'm not going to speak on Floyd's business, but Floyd's very, very, as we all the world knows, he's money made, very flashy. Look, man, you know, we both made some real money, but you know, you start burning through, you make $2-3 million a year, you burning through $100,000 a month. You ain't really got that much money.
Shit, he probably spending way more than that.
No, I'm talking regular dudes.
We
say we made $3 million, we burning through $100,000 a month. We really don't got no paper like that saved up.
That's a fact.
So even if he's making $100 million, if he's burning through $5, $6, $7 million a month, you still got taxes, you still got responsibilities. So I don't know nobody's bag, but you know, me and you, we real. We never count nobody paper. So
not at all.
I hope he got $10 billion. And I hope he get out of this problem.
That's a fact, because you would figure he should be able to just cash him out. Like whatever the tab is, you know, he should be able to wire that. You know
I think he could do that with no problem. I think he got all the money in the world. I think they may not want it.
Nothing shows Floyd's obsession with attention more than his recent trip to Mexico inside an armored tank. While most people travel in luxury SUVs or private jets, Mayweather went full spec.
I need you guys to watch me talk about my watches. Right here, I got 3 cases, and they're all full of watches. So when I travel, I like to take, you know, if I'm going for 45 days, I like to take 45 watches with me. I like to have options. So everybody's always asking me, what's your favorite watch? Well, one of my favorite watch brands is &Co. As you can see right here, I got this a few months back, and it's one of my favorite watches. One of the best brands in the world. That's just my personal opinion. I like the brand so much, I went and bought another watch just yesterday, &Co. As you can see, &Co. Now, let's talk about watches, let's talk about jewelry, let's talk about a few things. I need you guys to watch me talk about my watches. So we'll sit this to the side. Now, we want to give the people an appetizer or something light. So we give you 2 appetizers, then we give you a main course, just a few watches that I got while I travel. So check this out. We're going to go here first. And of course, the company is Avi & Co. Crazy company. Now, I need you guys to come closer and check this out. So let me come to you guys.
Then there's his famous watch collection, said to be worth millions. His social media is full of diamond-covered watches, each flashier than the last. While fans may love the sparkle, money experts see it as wasteful. These watches lose value. The moment they're bought, they're not investments, they're just expensive toys.
Yeah. I think it was like a $5 or $8 million 5-fight deal or something like that. You have to check the numbers, but he turned that down to start his own promotion. And when he was with HBO, he worked out that deal to do the 24/7 where you can see the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That was right around the time when reality TV was getting big.
Yeah.
So you didn't have social media then. People began to build and know Floyd off of the 24/7.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, my wife even became a boxing fan from watching the 24/7s.
Yeah.
So the timing of him becoming his